What's good, Vikings Nation? The preseason's in the books, and the regular season's right around the corner. Can you feel the energy? Today, we're breaking down the hottest Minnesota Vikings rumors as of August 24th, 2025, and trust me, there's some serious purple fire to talk about. From a quarterback twist in Indianapolis to a running back trade that didn't happen and a former Viking clawing his way back to the NFL, we've got 15 segments of pure Vikings hype. Are you pumped for the McCarthy era and what's next for our squad? Let's dive into the first rumor. Daniel Jones just snagged the QB1 job in Indianapolis, and Vikings fans, this is huge for us. According to NBC Sports' Mike Florio, Jones beat out Anthony Richardson, the Colts' fourth overall pick in 2023, for the starting gig. This is wild. Jones, who was cut by the Giants and briefly joined our practice squad last year, is now QB1 for Shane Steichen's team. Why should we care? Because this could land us a sweet compensatory draft pick in 2026. If Jones plays at least 60.6% of the Colts' offensive snaps this season, the Vikings are in line for a fourth-round compensatory pick. Fall below that, and it's a fifth-rounder. A fourth-rounder is gold in draft terms. Think of the talent we could snag. With Jones off to a strong start by winning the job, are you rooting for him to ball out in Indy? This is a low-key win for GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah's roster-building strategy. That extra draft capital could help us add another playmaker or bolster the trenches. Imagine the possibilities: a new edge rusher, a lockdown corner, or even a future star to pair with McCarthy. What position would you target with that pick? Drop it in the comments. The running back room is a hot topic, and the Vikings have been making waves. We re-signed Aaron Jones to a 2-year, $20 million extension after his monster 2024 season, 1,138 rushing yards and 408 receiving yards. Then, we pulled off a blockbuster trade for Jordan Mason from the 49ers. This duo is set to be a nightmare for defenses, but there's buzz about adding even more depth. Why? Because Chandler's spot as RB3 is looking shaky. NFL writer Logan Ulrich recently floated the idea of the Vikings trading for Washington's Brian Robinson to solidify the backfield. Robinson, a physical runner, would have been a perfect fit to ease McCarthy's transition as our QB1. The Vikings want to lean on the run game in 2025, but here's the kicker. Robinson got traded to the 49ers on Friday for a 6th-round pick. Did we miss out on a game-changer? This trade rumor shows how aggressive the Vikings are about building around McCarthy. With Jones and Mason already forming a dynamic duo, would another RB have pushed us over the top? Or are we set with our current backfield? Let me know what you think. Should we still be hunting for RB depth? Hold up, Vikings fans. Cameron Dantzler is back in the NFL. The former Vikings 3rd-round pick from 2020 is getting a shot with the Miami Dolphins, per the Orlando Sentinel. Dantzler, who started 26 games for us from 2020 to 22, has been grinding all offseason to earn a roster spot. With Miami's cornerback room dealing with injuries, this could be his chance to shine. Dantzler was once seen as the heir to Xavier Rhodes in our secondary, with his length and ball skills. Injuries and inconsistency derailed his time in Minnesota, but at 27, he's still got potential. The Dolphins are giving him a look as they finalize their 53-man roster. Talk about a redemption arc. Do you think Dantzler can stick in Miami and make an impact? This news hits home for Vikings fans who remember Dantzler's flashes of brilliance. Could he haunt us if he balls out in Miami? Or are we better off with our current cornerback group, led by Byron Murphy Jr. and Isaiah Rodgers? Share your thoughts. Let's talk about our old draft pick making waves. Let's talk about Aaron Jones, because our RB1 is fired up for 2025. After a career-high 1,138 rushing yards and 306 touches in 2024, Jones signed a 2-year, $20 million extension in March. He told Vikings.com he feels as fresh as ever heading into his age 31 season. That's the kind of energy we love in Minnesota. But here's the twist. The Jordan Mason trade might shake up his role. Jones is thrilled to team up with Mason, praising his physicality and vision. He told ESPN's Kevin Seifert, "I'm going to be his biggest cheerleader. When you split snaps, it raises both guys' games." But some analysts, like those at thevikingage.com, warn that Mason's prowess in short yardage and red zone situations could eat into Jones' touches. Will this duo be a 1A/1B combo, or is Jones still the clear lead dog? This backfield dynamic is crucial for J.J. McCarthy's success. A strong run game takes pressure off our young QB, and Jones' versatility as a pass catcher, 408 yards in 2024, makes him a perfect safety valve. How do you see the carries splitting between Jones and Mason? Hit the comments with your predictions. The Jordan Mason trade is being called the most underrated move of the offseason by Heavy.com, and for good reason. We snagged the 26-year-old bruiser from the 49ers for a 2026 sixth-round pick and a draft pick swap. Mason exploded for 789 yards on 153 carries in 2024, with a league-leading 37.3% missed tackle rate per next-gen stats. This guy's a tank. Mason's ability to handle stacked boxes and convert in short yardage situations, 5.1 yards per carry on 1 to 3 yard runs, makes him the perfect complement to Jones. As ZoneCoverage.com notes, this trade lets Jones focus on explosive plays while Mason grinds out tough yards. But here's the question. Could Mason steal the RB1 role if he keeps breaking tackles like he did in San Francisco? This move signals a shift toward a run-heavy attack under Kevin O'Connell. With Mason and Jones potentially sharing the load, our offense could be unstoppable. What's your take? Does this trade make us a top 10 rushing team in 2025? Let's hear it, Vikings fans. J.J. McCarthy is the name on every Vikings fan's lips, and 2025 is his time to shine. After missing his rookie year with a torn meniscus, our QB1 is taking every first-team snap in camp, per ESPN. The Vikings committed to him over veterans like Sam Darnold and Aaron Rodgers, showing faith in the 22-year-old's potential. Are you ready for the McCarthy era to begin? The roster around McCarthy is stacked. Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, and now a beefed-up offensive line with Ryan Kelly and Will Fries. As Vikings.com reports, Coach Kevin O'Connell is scheming to use two-back sets with Jones and Mason to make life easier for McCarthy. But with only one preseason game under his belt, is our young QB ready for the spotlight? McCarthy's success hinges on the run game and O-line protection. With a cost-controlled $4.97 million cap hit, per ESPN, the Vikings have built a roster to support him. What's your confidence level in JJ taking us to the playoffs? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about our future star. Ty Chandler's days in Minnesota might be numbered. Once a breakout star in 2023 with 461 rushing yards, Chandler struggled in 2024, averaging just 3.3 yards per carry on 56 attempts, per Heavy.com. With Jones and Mason locked in as the top two RBs, and undrafted rookie Xavier Scott turning heads in camp, Chandler's RB3 spot is in jeopardy. Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport called Chandler the Vikings' top cut candidate, noting that Scott's strong preseason, outperforming Chandler's 17 yards on 8 carries, has him climbing the depth chart. Heavy.com suggests the Vikings might even look to the waiver wire for other RB3 options. Is it time to move on from Chandler, or does he still have a role? This situation shows how deep our backfield is. Scott's emergence and the Mason trade have raised the bar, but losing Chandler could sting if he breaks out elsewhere. What do you think? Keep Chandler or let Scott take over? Share your thoughts below. The Vikings' offensive line got a major upgrade this offseason, and it's got fans buzzing. We signed 4-time Pro Bowl center Ryan Kelly and guard Will Fries from the Colts, then drafted Donovan Jackson at number 24 overall, per Vikings.com. This trio joins studs Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill, forming what could be our best O-line since the late 2000s. Are you hyped for this unit? Ryan Kelly's veteran presence is a game-changer. As offensive coordinator Wes Phillips told Vikings.com, Kelly's seen it all and anchors the line with his strength and communication. Fries, recovering from a broken leg, and rookie Jackson are already gelling, per Aaron Jones. But with Darrisaw still rehabbing a torn ACL, will this line be ready for Week 1? A strong O-line is critical for protecting McCarthy and opening lanes for Jones and Mason. Sumer Sports notes we used two-back sets on 12.24% of plays last year, ranking 6th in the NFL. With this beefed-up front, Could we lean even harder into the run? What's your take on our new look line? Let's hear it. The Brian Robinson trade rumor had Vikings fans dreaming of an even deeper backfield. Logan Ulrich suggested Robinson, a physical runner from Washington, could have been a smart RB3 upgrade over Chandler. With Jones at 31 and Mason's injury history, adding Robinson made sense to support McCarthy. But the 49ers swooped in, snagging him for a sixth-rounder. Robinson's style tough, downhill running, would have fit perfectly in O'Connell's scheme, especially with our upgraded O-line. As Vikings.com notes, O'Connell loves using two-back sets, and Robinson could have paired with Jones or Mason for some punishing runs. Did we dodge a bullet, or should we have pushed harder for him? This miss doesn't hurt too bad with Jones and Mason in the fold, but it shows the Vikings are still exploring RB options. Should we scour the waiver wire for another back, or are we set? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate. Cameron Dantzler's return to the NFL is a feel-good story for Vikings fans who rooted for him. The Miami Dolphins signed him to compete for a roster spot as they deal with cornerback injuries, per the Orlando Sentinel. Dantzler's 37 career games and 26 starts with us show he's got experience. But can he lock down a role in Miami? Back in 2020, we thought Dantzler could be the next big thing in our secondary. His length and instincts were promising, but injuries and inconsistency led to his exit. Now, at 27, he's got a fresh shot. Do you think he'll make the Dolphins roster, or is this just a short-term look? This news makes you wonder about our own cornerback depth. With Byron Murphy Jr. and Isaiah Rodgers leading the way, per ESPN, we're thin behind them. Would you want Dantzler back if he gets cut by Miami? Let's talk about it in the comments. Aaron Jones is all in on splitting carries with Jordan Mason, and it's got fans excited. Jones told ESPN's Kevin Seifert he's hyped to team up with Mason, saying it'll push both guys to elevate their game. After 306 touches in 2024, Jones knows a lighter workload could keep him fresh at 31. But will this hurt his fantasy football value? The Vikingage.com warns that Mason's red zone prowess, 2.9 yards per carry versus Jones' 1.8, could steal goal line touches. Mason's 5.1 yards per carry in short yardage situations is elite, per next-gen stats. If O'Connell leans on Mason in key moments, could Jones' RB14 fantasy ranking from 2024 take a hit? For Vikings fans, this is about wins, not fantasy points. Jones and Mason could form a thunder and lightning duo, like Detroit's Montgomery and Gibbs. How do you see this backfield shaping up? Will Jones still be the workhorse, or is Mason a dark horse for RB1? Drop your predictions below. J.J. McCarthy's transition to QB1 is the biggest storyline of 2025. ESPN reports the Vikings passed on veterans like Daniel Jones and Aaron Rodgers to hand the keys to the 22-year-old. After a 14-win season in 2024, the pressure's on, but the roster around him is built to succeed. Are you buying the McCarthy hype? O'Connell's scheming to make life easy for McCarthy, with two-back sets and a stacked O-line, per Vikings.com. McCarthy's only got one preseason game of experience, but his arm talent and poise have coaches buzzing. With Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson as weapons, can he lead us to the playoffs? The Vikings' commitment to McCarthy shows they're all in on the future. His $4.97 million cap hit gives us flexibility to build around him, per ESPN. What's the one thing you want to see from McCarthy in Week 1 against the Bears? Let's get those comments rolling. The Vikings' running game is poised to dominate in 2025, thanks to our upgraded O-line and RB depth. Sumer Sports notes we ran 21 personnel, 2 RBs, 1 TE, on 12.24% of plays last year, 6th in the NFL. With Kelly, Fries, and Jackson joining Darisaw and O'Neal, we could see even more two-back looks. Are you ready for a ground-and-pound Vikings offense? Jones and Mason are complete backs, per O'Connell, with Jones excelling as a pass catcher and Mason bullying defenders. As Vikings.com reports, O'Connell's scheming two-back sets where both could be on the field together. Could this be the key to unlocking our offense? A strong run game takes pressure off McCarthy and opens up play action for Jefferson. But will O'Connell stick to the run, or fall back into pass-heavy habits? What's your take on our offensive identity in 2025? Hit the comments with your thoughts. Chandler's roster spot is on thin ice, and it's a tough pill for Vikings fans to swallow. Heavy.com reports that Xavier Scott, an undrafted rookie, has outshined Chandler in camp and preseason. Scott's physicality and hunger have coaches intrigued, while Chandler's 3.3 yards per carry in 2024 was a letdown. Should we cut ties with our 2022 draft pick? Chandler was electric in 2023, with 461 yards at 4.5 yards per carry, but Jones' arrival and Mason's trade pushed him down the depth chart. Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport says Chandler's grasp on the RB3 job is growing tenuous. Do you think Scott's the future, or can Chandler bounce back? This battle shows how competitive our roster is. With Jones and Mason locked in, the RB3 role is about depth and special teams. Would you keep Chandler for his upside, or roll with Scott's momentum? Let's debate in the comments. Let's wrap this up. Vikings Nation, the 2025 season is almost here, and the rumors are heating up. From Daniel Jones' QB1 win in Indy boosting our draft capital, to the missed opportunity with Brian Robinson and Cameron Dantzler's NFL comeback, the Vikings are making noise. With J.J. McCarthy, Aaron Jones, and Jordan Mason leading the charge, are we Super Bowl contenders? I want to hear from you. What's the one rumor or storyline you're most excited about? Drop it in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more Vikings news and updates. Share this video with your fellow Vikings fans, and let's get ready for a wild season. SKOL Vikings!